We have a real problem in this country, in Britain, with free speech. We're losing our free speech. There are blasphemy laws in now for Islam. Not for Christianity, for Islam. There's no such thing as Christophobia. You can't make a comment that's offensive against someone for criticising Jesus. That's not Christophobic. But if you insult Muhammad, or say something about statistics of Islam, or say something about terror being connected to Islam in any way, then you're Islamophobic automatically. It's got its own word. It's like if you say something about Jewish people, or even Zionists, or even George Soros, or the Rothschilds, you're automatically anti-Semitic. It's got its own word. But Christianity? Does Christianity have its own word? Does it have its own treatment? Does it have its own encyclopedia built around it? No, of course it doesn't. It doesn't have its own word. There is no such thing as Christophobia. Therefore, you're allowed to insult Christianity. You can't insult Judaism or Islam because there's Islamophobia and anti-Semitism, but you can insult Christianity, and that's why they do so every day on the telly. And I was talking to people and saying that it's wrong that there are blasphemy laws for Islam. And then they said, yeah, well, the church and bishops shouldn't be involved in government, blah, blah, blah. I think you'll find if you say something about Jesus on telly, it's perfectly allowed. I think you'll find if you say something about Christians on telly being all mongs and idiots, etc., it's all perfectly allowed. But if you said that about Muslims, if you said that about Jews, it wouldn't be allowed, would it? You see, I want safety in our country, and that translates to safe policies and, border policies, safe immigration policies. We need, there was already 8 countries listed, blacklisted, and drawn up by Obama, actually, in the Obama administration, that was basically blocking immigration from those countries. We need to have a travel ban on these countries, these same countries, and add other countries to the list, including Nigeria, Eritrea, Somalia, Yemen, Jordan, Mali. Add that to Pakistan, add that to Iraq, Afghanistan, add that to, Syria, and add to that UAE, Saudi Arabia, add Israel if you want. I don't care, they're all rogue terror nations. But we need to stop making the focus about tolerance and saying we need more people here because we need more houses built, we need more people to occupy those houses. There's no patch of greenery anymore that's not occupied by new houses, characterless new houses built with Agenda 21 style specifications. So there's no room whatsoever, they're just basically broom closets. Studio apartments, yeah, of course they are. That's a nice way of saying it, isn't it? Agenda 21, a UN mandate that started in the Rio summit of '96, which was an attempt for the global elite to stop people owning their own property. And now everyone rents things, and everyone borrows things, and the government basically own it ultimately, and there's eminent domain and all these kind of things. Ultimately, the global elite, the government, want to stop people owning their own things. They want to stop people growing their own food, growing their own vegetables. They want to stop people keeping their own animals. They want to stop people having their own land. They want to stop people having their own houses. They certainly want to stop people buying their own houses. And why are we told this is the case? Because it's unsustainable, because there's too many people. Well, there's only too many people because you keep bringing in so many people with the immigration policies. And why are they doing the immigration policies? Why are they bringing in so many people? So they can say there's too many people and then say, oh, we need more houses. It sustains itself. It's a nice little scam. If we bring in more immigrants from countries that are known to have terrorists that said they're going to attack us, and when they do attack us, we can then close the noose on society, we can close off all the roads, we can ban people carrying knives and liquids, we can put walls around all the buildings and say, we won't be cowed, we won't be cowed. We can put curfews on the streets so people don't even have to, people aren't even allowed out on the streets at certain times because it's a dangerous time to be out on the streets, and, people with mental illness might be driving cars into people saying Allahu Akbar with nothing to do with Islam. Well, maybe people would be more comfortable talking about Sharia. What about the tenets of Sharia law? The law that says it's okay to throw gay people off buildings, stone women to death. We've all heard these lines again and again. We don't necessarily believe they exist, but if you look in the Quran, you can see a quote that says the man who has had sex with another man should basically be put to death. They have committed sin and they cannot be allowed to live. Is that acceptable, is it? Is that just interpreting it as homophobic, is it? Or is it a homophobic, hateful, misogynistic, hateful text? You can't interpret it any other way. And I fully accept that the Bible is full of the same kind of homophobia, the same kind of, if a man lies with another man, then he has done what is detestable and he is put to death. That seems to be God's treatment or Allah's treatment or, for anyone. Because it's a control mechanism. Religions are control mechanisms, and the more people they can get latching onto their religions, the more people they can control. And because people have broken away from the control mechanism of Christianity in this country, and there's so many agnostic people, that is why our populations are being replaced. That is why our populations are being replaced by Muslims, because they are more compliant, they are easy to control. Christians, they can't control them anymore because too many of us are agnostic or atheists, so they can't control us, so we're being replaced. That's the bitter pill to swallow. That's the bitter red pill to swallow. That is the hard truth to accept. Our populations in the West are being replaced by a more malleable population of Muslims who are easier for the global elite to control. That is why the global elite are destroying our civilization. Sick, isn't it?